In this video, we're going to graph piecewise functions. So here I'm going to be graphing piecewise functions. So I have this function called g of x, and there are three parts to this function. I'm going to start with the first part, which is defined for x values less than or equal to -2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put together a t-chart. And in my t-chart, I am going to start with -2. They want values that are less than or equal to -2, so I'll do -2 and -3 and -4. So I'm going to go ahead and plug those in, and when I plug those in, go ahead and hit pause and see what you get when you plug those in. And hopefully you got, get my pen out, hopefully you got -1, 0, and 1. So I'm going to plot those points. -2, -1, -3, 0, and -4, 1. All right, so I'm going to go to the second piece, which is 4. So that means I'm going to start at -2. I'm going to -1, 0, and 1. Why did I pick those points? Well, I didn't. It's right here. It defines the domain. Well, guess what? Your y value is going to be each time. It's going to be 4. Because it says here that y is always equal to 4. So let's go ahead and plot those points. So I want you to notice that when I plotted those points, here at -2, 4, I have an open circle, because here when you look at the domain, this is not -2 is less than or equal to x, it's just less than. So you got to pay attention to when those dots are solid and when they're not. Okay, let's do this last one. Push pause and see if you can get it. Okay, so let me go ahead and put in my x and y, and it says that x values need to be bigger than 1, so I'm just going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plot these points. I'm going to plot 1, -3 first. 1, -3, 1, 2, 3. This is going to be an open circle because, as you can see here, x has to be greater than 1. I'm going to plot the next point, 2, -1. Solid point, solid dot, and then 3, 3, 1, and then we're going to connect that. There's the piecewise function. We graphed all the pieces. So this is the next one. You'll hit pause on the video and see if you can do it, and then come back to the video and see if your graph looks like this one. Okay, so here we go with this one. I see the first part of the piecewise function is a quadratic. So I come up here and write what the vertex is. -1, 7. -1 is definitely in this domain, so I'll just graph that right here. I went to my t-chart and I started at 2, went down to 1, 0, and I made sure it looked curved like a quadratic. Okay, sometimes students tend to make everything look like a line. You can't. You got to know your parent functions. I look at this second one. It is -1/3 x. X needs to be greater than 4. So I started with 4, I plugged in a 4, and I got -4/3. I came over here and plotted that 1, 2, 3, 4, -4/3, a little over 1, -1 1/3. And then I picked the number where I get an integral point. So I picked 6. So if I plug in a 6, 6/3 is 2, and then it's negative, so -2. So I went over here and plotted that point, and I know that's a line, connected it, and voila, got a piecewise function.